What's up, guys? This is Teddy. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This video, I'm going to be talking about abstract classes in Java. So there are all different ways that you can describe abstract classes, but I think one of the most potent ways and one of the ways that will hopefully solidify this very easily for you is that an abstract class is almost like an interface and inheritance had a baby. You can have all of the power of inheritance where you can pass down your methods into your classes, almost like a waterfall of code, like I was talking about, like gravity pulls down water. So in essence, your top base class is going to pass down code into your lower classes. But also, there's certain times when you don't want to pass down that exact code. You want the other programmer or you want yourself to be able to not pass down the exact code, but also write your own code, but also make it so that the other classes that are below that top level class are going to be able to know that certain method needs to be implemented. And if that just really confused you, it's okay, because abstract classes are pretty confusing. So just buckle up. We're going to go through this step by step. And by the end of this, you'll know what abstract classes are. So the first most important thing is you need to know the difference between an abstract method and an abstract class. If you watched my interfaces video, we touched on what abstract methods are. They're very easy to spot. Let's just say you're looking in your class and you spot one of these weird looking methods. And what is so weird about this method is that this has a body. Like if you look right here, if you look into this, there's like an actual body within this code, and you expect to see that. But when you're looking at abstract classes, a lot of times you will see this type of code right here. And this is what an abstract method is. Why they call it an abstract method? It's because you're abstracting away code and you're providing an abstraction. Do you really need to know that? Just really know that whenever you hear that word abstract method, more specifically, not abstract class, it's just a method that does not have a body, and that is simply it. But when you have abstract classes, once again, you're getting the best of both worlds. You get your regular methods, like this is just a regular method, but you also get abstract methods just like you do in interfaces. But you can't just leave this method like this willy-nilly. Unlike interfaces, which you just have just like this, you don't have to add any keywords. Whenever you have abstract methods in an abstract class, you must add this keyword right here. This is very important because if you don't add this, it's not going to be abstract. The second most important thing is that you also need to add public abstract class. You need to add abstract up here. If you don't add abstract, it's not going to be an abstract class, and it's not going to be where you can't instantiate it. This is another, I hope you're really paying attention right now because this is super, super important. So whenever you make an abstract class, key point here, I'm even going to highlight this in a different color, super important. Abstract classes cannot be nude up. If you create an abstract class, a lot of times people call it instantiating. I call it newing up. That's kind of like the slang term. The more formal term is instantiate. But if you hang out in, or if you're actually working, a lot of times people are just going to refer to it as newing it up. And you want to be cool. Like I said, you want to be cool. You want to know all the slang. So what this means is that you can't actually, so we have like object, and this is just a dummy. Says this doesn't actually exist. So if you try to new this up, if you try to new up an abstract class, when you have added this keyword right here, it's not going to work. Have I ever not? I don't think you can even add abstract, or I don't think it's even possible to not have an abstract class. And I don't really even understand why you would not want to have abstract up here. But I don't even think it's possible to have this in the same setting. Like, you have to do both of these, and I don't really even understand why you would want. I don't understand why they just didn't add like abstract and just make it so that you didn't have to add abstract to the bottom one, but that's the way that they do it. And we don't make the rules. A lot of times you just kind of have to abide by the rules, as bad as that sounds. But so we've got like a very base level understanding, but we still haven't seen it in action. So whenever you create a new abstract class, what is going to happen? Well, all you're going to do is you're just going to go down here, let's say, and we've got our network request. And I purposely chose a network request because network request will have certain methods, just like this one, where you will want these same methods to be passed down into your other classes. But there's also certain methods that you want to be different. And this is just an example, but if you were going to send a network request, all network requests are going to have to check DNS. Do you need to know that? No, you don't need to know that. But just really realize that whenever you send a some kind of network request, most of the time you're going to send a DNS, depending whether it's a ping or whether it's an ARP request or it's some kind of network. You're going to probably have to check the actual DNS. But the request is going to actually be different, and that's kind of the beauty of it. You get that pluggability of an interface where you can change the code, but you also get the same code inherited and passed down to you into your other classes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a regular class right here. So public class, and I'm going to create a ping class. And what's going to happen is that I'm going to get a red squiggly line right here. I'm going to get the red squiggly line of death. And what's essentially going to happen is that this abstract class idea is going to force me to send or to add this send request. So public void, and then I will have to make my own send request just like that. And then I am going to go into here and actually create my own code. So I'll go system, and I need to capitalize that. I'll just go in there and capitalize that. So system.out.println, and then I'm going to go send a ping. So ping sent, just like that. So ping sent, and you don't need to type any of that out, but you get the picture. Once we have made it so that this is inheriting from, so we're going to go extends, and we're extending because this is a class, remember that. So once we extend the network request and we implement it, or we extend it, I'm sorry, that's when the red squiggly line is going to happen, and then we're going to be forced to put this send request in anything that extends this ping class. But it's not enough to just talk about it. Let's actually go in here and let's see this thing happen in action. And once again, I'm just going to go into here. We're going to call this network request, and we're just going to make the same thing that we had before. And go in here, going to create a void, and what was it? So check DNS. So we'll say public void, and check DNS is going to be the version that is going to exist in all of our classes passed down. So, and I think I'm going to make this capitalized because I think that looks better. So we're going to SOUT snout, and we'll just say check DNS. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So then we go down here, and then what we are going to do is we're going to have the same thing, but it's going to be, once again, an abstract method. So we go here, and we're going to say send request, and just put that right there. Notice the red squiggly line. So hover over that, and what you'll see, missing method body or declare abstract. So we go public abstract void, and then you're going to get a second error, second red squiggly line of death. And what that means is you need to go up here, and now we have perfected our abstract class and we can actually pass it down. That is absolutely amazing. So go in here, click new, click our Java class, and then we're going to create our ping. Then extends network request, just like that. Red squiggly line of death, which is a good sign. So let me see here. Let's just read this warning. Class ping must either be declared abstract, and go in here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to implement our methods. Remember, Alt Enter. I think I said dot command before, but it's actually Alt Enter. I'm sorry if I confused anybody, but now we go in here and we have the ability to send our request. So we're going to go send request. And once again, we can go into here and check this out. We can have the network request just like that. So not only do we get access to all these other features, but now we get the flexibility of polymorphism. So instead of having it to be a ping, now we can have it inherit from our network request as well too, and we get all of that added functionality, and we can make our code way more flexible. And that is the idea of one of the ideas of polymorphism, which I will make a video on later down the line. So we're going to go just call this request, and we'll say new, and we'll new up the ping. You see, we can't new up a network request, but we can new up the ping. But the network request will give us a broader exposure to all of this code, and we can get better type checking and more robust, more flexible code. So we'll go here, we'll go request, and then we get our check DNS, and we get our send request just like that. So let's go ahead and let's hit the green button and see what we have here. So we go here, and would you look at that? We have just created a beautiful little abstract class. We've learned all about abstract classes. That's pretty much really all you need to know. Are abstract classes used that much in traditional day-to-day development? No, not really, but they're really important to know. They're really important to understand, and you're probably going to get asked this in an interview question. Hope that you guys like this. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and as always, thank you for watching.